As many as 2 million women and girls every year are thought to be the victims of male violence. Hardly surprising then that the police are calling it a national emergency. The alarming figures come in the first nationwide report into the scale of what's being called an epidemic in England and Wales. Recorded violent offences grew by nearly 40% in 5 years, and with many women still reluctant to come forward, police acknowledge the true figure is much higher still. Here's our West of England reporter Sangeet Halal on these shocking findings.
Names seared in the nation's consciousness. The victims of an almost 40% surge in violence against women and girls in the last 6 years. So many targeted in the most horrific ways. Bethany was stabbed to death with her son by her ex-boyfriend at home. Terry Harris murdered along with her 2 children and one of their friends by her boyfriend. 9-year-old Lilia killed while she played on the street with her sister. Today, police have described violence against women and girls as a threat to society on the same scale as terrorism. As the latest figures show, 3,000 crimes are recorded by police every day. Laura Dickinson was one of those who reported physical abuse by her ex-boyfriend to police.
I was shocked to hear the amount of women that are being attacked. The fact that that's only the reported cases, it doesn't explain how many more cases there must be that aren't reported.
A report commissioned by the National Police Chiefs Council has found 1 in every 12 women will be a victim of violence every year. That's more than 2 million. That 1 in 20 people will be a perpetrator, around 2.3 million people a year. And between 2022 and 2023, violence against women equated to just under 20% of all police recorded crime. Officers say they're now working with counter-terrorism teams to look at the risk of young men being influenced online.
I said that if a woman is going out with a man, she belongs to that man.
Today, police have warned of growing concerns that social media personalities like Andrew Tate are fueling offences committed among younger generations.
How are women allowed to drive?
Tate is charged with rape, sexual exploitation and human trafficking, which he denies. But with more than a 9 million following on X, the self-proclaimed misogynist is being linked to radicalisation of young people online.
We know that the growth of online harm really does impact our children and young people, and we need to work, we want government to work with industry to bring more regulation, to take down violent imagery, to take down those posts online that we think are taking our young people into places that they really shouldn't think is acceptable.
Control the distance with her legs. Let's see what now.
Learning to protect themselves because they don't feel anyone else can from a growing threat that shouldn't exist, but one that is an unacceptable reality for women.
Now, Sangeeta, this is nothing new. It's been a pressing issue that successive governments have promised to act on. So what's Labour's plan then?
Well, they've promised to halve violence against women and girls within a decade. They say that's their priority, but actually detail around the plans of how they aim to do that have been fairly vague today. But in the Labour manifesto, it said they plan to bring in domestic violence experts in 999 control rooms, address misogyny in schools and introduce specialist rape and sexual offences teams. But this report today shows the sheer scale of this issue, one that the National Police Chiefs Council said is growing at staggering levels, possibly because of a rise in awareness. But officers warned these figures are the tip of the iceberg. There are also plans for police to create a central hub to offer officers specialist knowledge and training, something I spoke to survivors about. They told me they've heard these promises before, and unfortunately they say they've now lost faith in seeing anything in this situation improve.
OK, Sangeeta, thank you very much.